Hello, I am Mark Bonney and I'm one of the directors here at Safe Hands Bookkeeping here in Hartley Wintney. Today I'll be talking to you about the changes in reduced standard rate for cafes, restaurants and the hospitality industry. So if you're selling goods in cafes, bars, in hospitality or attractions, you've probably been enjoying a reduced rate VAT, selling things at 5% instead of the usual 20%. If you haven't, where have you been? And you need to speak to a better bookkeeper, so give us a call. So what I want to talk about is what the changes are going to be very shortly and the sorts of things you need to think about before we actually make that change that could potentially impact your business, or more specifically impact the profitability of where you are. So the 5% VAT has been on all sales in certain goods for a very long time, and this is changing on the 1st of October 2021, so in little under a month. And so what will happen is it will change on all things that are generated at 5% will be then at 12%, and then it will change again on the 1st of April 2022 back to the standard 20%. So the things that you need to do as a business, if you use a till system, likes of iZettle or EPOS Now or something similar, you'll need to change your products within there to make sure that you are then charging 12.5% VAT instead of 5% VAT. However, and on the face of it, it's quite simple. That's what you need to do. However, what this will also impact is your gross profit margin. So what I mean by that is overnight, you will make 7.5% less gross profit on everything you sell. So even though your prices are staying the same, you are going to pay more to HMRC each month. So in essence, you're taking more money and taking more money from your clients and paying more money to HMRC. So the sorts of things you need to think about as a business is, has your business become profitable since the pandemic and since the reduced rate VAT? It is highly likely that your suppliers are charging you more money, so your actual cost of sale has gone up. And so if over the last few months your cost of sales have gone up, and now your gross profit margin is coming down, that's really going to squeeze your profitability and your margins. And so it will ultimately affect your net profit as well. So what you need to start to think about is whether you need to start passing that cost on to your clients. And so figuring out what your margin is to a product level of what you're charging. So we can help you do that. But ultimately you also need to think when the next change happens, so you're going to 20% from 12.5%, so another 7.5% up. So from 5% currently up to 20% on the 1st of April, that is a 15% reduction in your gross profits. So you might be okay and your margins are okay now, but in 6 months, will that be the same? So whilst on the face of it, it's a relatively simple change, and your gross profit margin is going down, actually that could fundamentally change your business and actually affect your gross profit margin. If you don't plan for it, this is really going to hit you, and you probably aren't going to see that within your bookkeeping or within what you're doing for at least a month. If you're really on it, potentially a lot longer than that. And if you rely on people like an accountant, you probably may not see it until your year end or when your cash balances go down. I really encourage anyone that is in that industry or anyone that's looking at their VAT rates going up because of these changes that to really analyse your margins of what's going to happen to your bottom line and your cash balances month on month. Once again, my name is Mark and I'm from Safe Hands Bookkeeping in Hartley Witney, and this video has been on the changes to reduced standard rate happening on the 1st of October going to 12.5%, and again on the 1st of April going to 20%. Your finances in safe hands.